Bible, Discourse 33. Discourse 33, Bible. Ordination of the 12 apostles and a sermon on the plain. And it came to pass in those days that he went out into a mountain to pray and continued all night in prayer to God. And when it was day, he called unto his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom also he named apostles: Simon, whom he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zealots, and Judas the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot, which also was the traitor. And he came down with them and stood in the plain, and the company of his disciples, and a great multitude of people out of all Judea and Jerusalem, and from the sea coast of Tyre and Sidon, which came to hear him, and to be healed of their diseases. And they were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed. And the whole multitude sought to touch him, for there went virtue out of him, and healed them all. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples, and said, Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in the day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received our consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that spitteth thee on the one cheek, offer also the other. And him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy thy goods, ask them not again. And as ye would find that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have we? What thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have you? Have ye? What thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive. What thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest. For he is kind unto the thankful, unto the for he is kind unto the unthankful, unto the evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Judge not, ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, and shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye met with it, with, withal it shall be measured to you again. For with the same measure that ye met withal, it shall be measured to you again. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind light the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. And why beholdest thou the knot that is thy brother's eye, but perceive not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pull out of the more that is in thine eye, when thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast not the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull out the mote that is in thy brother's eye. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither doth a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will shew you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built an house and digged deep and laid the foundation of a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream beat vehemently. It fell, and ruin of that house was great. Luke 6:12 to 49. And it came to pass in those days that he went out into a mountain to pray, and continued all night in prayer to God. And when it was day, he called unto his disciples, and of them he chose he chose 12, whom also named apostles: Simon, whom he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James and son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zelotes, and Judas the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot, which also was the traitor. Luke 6:12 to 16. Parallel reference. And he goeth into a mountain, and calleth unto him he would. And they came unto him, and he ordained 12 that they should be with him, and he might send them forth to preach, and to have power to heal sickness, and to cast out devils. And Simon he surnamed Peter, and James the son of Zebedee, and John the brother of James, and he surnamed them Boanerges, which is the sons of thunder, and Andrew, and Philip, and Bartholomew, and Matthew, and Thomas, and James, the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, and Simon, and Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, which also betrayed him, and they went into a house. Mark 3:13 to 19. Now the time has come for Jesus to choose 12 apostles to spread his message. Apostle means to send forth. It is Greek term. Jesus prayed the whole night on the high reaches of the nearby mountains in solitude with God communion. Mountains and caves are chosen by the godly men for meditation. God first spoke to Moses on Mount Horeb, Exodus 3:1 ff, and he gave him 10 commandments on Mount Sinai, Exodus 19:15 ff. Mount Carmel is referenced in association with Elijah and Elisha and other prophets. The physical and astral bodies are adapted to finer atmosphere. It will help the meditating yogi in breathing exercises. Choosing 12 apostles by Jesus is significant. In Bharat, the guru-disciple relationship tradition, two types of disciples come to him for training. Those who come for general instructions, married or unmarried, are known as students. Those who come for spiritual training and to propagate the teachings of the Master is known as disciples. They live for the Master and God. They propagate the teachings of Sadguru. The ordained teacher who possesses both a holy life and convey the truth is a true apostle of the Master, sent forth to serve the Master as a pure voice of his God-given message. When a child comes on earth, the child inherits the family traits of good and bad in accordance with their own karma and the related karma which they share with their respective parents. Parents have no choice but to choose the kind of children they want. By an act of super willpower and meditation only, they can invite the good soul to be born in their family. Jesus accordingly chose the selected known apostles to convey his message to the mankind. That is why Simon was commanded to follow Jesus. He chose three categories of people as his disciples. Number one, The people who were required more spiritual help in their final stage of realization. Number two, reawakening their final spiritual potential and to help him to propagate the message of Christhood to the masses through their righteous living. And finally, number three, Jesus knew that he was Elisha in his last incarnation and was chosen by prophet Elijah. Elisha was the son of Sharafat. He was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen. Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. Number 1, Kings 19:19. 12 yoke of oxen represent 12 yoke of oxen represents 12 apostles of Jesus to spread Jesus' message. The Master changes the name of his disciples as per his choice. Simon was renamed as Peter, the rock, by Jesus. Latter was taken to task for denying Jesus 3 times under the impulse of fear. Jesus changed the surname of James to John, the sons of Zebedee to Boanerges, the sons of thunder. There is popular adage, blood is thicker than water, but spiritual blood is thicker still. Each person is born into a family for one lifetime only, but with spiritual bond, the spiritually related soul will walk together the related path to God through many lifetimes. Why did Jesus include the traitor Judas in the selected group of apostles? Jesus' foreknowledge of Judas' treachery is apparent in many gospel verses. Disciple is independent to work against the will of God. Jesus knew the law of cause and effect and the evil properties of the karma of Judas. Judas had the opportunity to change his karmic pattern. Judas needed to egoistic satanic ignorance. It was Judas who precipitated in culminating victory of Jesus' life for Christ's crucifixion and resurrection. Judas became his foremost publicity agent. And he came down with them and stood in the plain and the company of his disciples and a great multitude of people out of all Judea and Jerusalem and from the sea coast of Tyre and Sidon, which came to hear him and to be healed of their diseases. And they were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed. And the whole multitude sought to touch him, for there went virtue out of him and healed them all. Luke 6:17-19. Multitude of people gathered to hear the gospel of Jesus and to be healed. They touched his feet. The faith of the sick healed by the life force from the body of Jesus. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as we evil. For the sons of man say, Rejoice ye in the day, and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. Behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received our consolation. Woe unto you that are full of that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. Luke 6:20 to 26. Woe unto you that are rich means that Jesus did not condemn the for riches, did not condemn the riches, but attachment to earthly treasure. Rich should share their treasure with others who are in need. Riches cannot prevent the disease or death. The desire for good God alone can give eternal satisfaction and security. Take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which in the position which he possesseth. Once again, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. Luke 12:15. Children, how hard it is for them that trust in riches to enter into the kingdom of God. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Mark 10:24 to 25. Woe unto those things who are content with material offerings and earthly pleasures, feeling no real hunger for God and truth. Woe unto those who are smiling and satisfied with material pleasure. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with good, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that mayest be rich, and while raiment, that thine eyes with eye slave, that thou mayest see. Revelation 3:17 to 18. It was not to condemn Jesus for his wisdom and admonitions. Bhagavan Sri Krishna also said, material evanescent wealth and pleasures are nothing compared to the God realization. Chintama parimeyancha pralayanta upasritaah कामोपभोग परमा एतावदिति निश्चिता. Gita 16th Adhyaya and 11th Sloka. They submerge in unending thoughts till death, fully indulged in sense pleasures, thinking that they are the real happiness. Asa apasa satair baddha kama krodha parayana ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम अन्यायेन अर्थ संचयान. Gita 16:12. They are bound by physical desires always. They behave with passion and wrath. For sense pleasures, they strive to amass wealth through four means. Gita 16:12. Idamadya maya labdham imam prapsye manoradham idamastidamapi me bhavishyati punardhanam. 16 Adhyaya 13th Sloka. असौमया हतशत्रु हनिष्ये चापरानपि ईश्वरोहम भोगी Siddhoham Balavan Sukhi. 16, 14. Gita, 16th Adhyaya, 14th Sloka. Adyovi Janavanasmi. Konyosti Sadruso Maya. Ekshedasyami Modipya Itya Gnana Vimohita. 16, 15. 16 Adhyaya, 15th Sloka. अनेक चित्त विभ्रांता मोहजाल समावृता प्रसक्ता कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरके शुचौ. 16th Adhyaya, 16th Sloka. The desire I have acquired today, this desire I have acquired today, this another desire I can go get fulfilled further. This property I got now, I can get more. I had killed this enemy, now I can annihilate other enemies also. I am the Lord, enjoyer of all pleasures. I can get the contemplated works fulfilled. I am strong, happy, wealthy, and born in a noble dynasty. I am unparalleled. I do sacrifices of yajnas, give charities, enjoy happiness. This way they speak with attachment, delusion, and unsteady mind due to ignorance. They are attached to and covered fully with a net of spouse, offspring, and fields. They are very much interested in desires. With these demonic attributes, they are falling in impure hell, believing that fulfillment of bodily desires is man's highest aim, confident that this world is all. Such persons are engrossed till the moment of death in earthly cares and concerns, bound by hundreds of fetters of selfish hopes and expectations, enslaved by wrath and passion. They strive to provide for physical enjoyment by amassing wealth dishonestly. Gita says, Yasravatra navisneha satta prapya subha subham नाभि ननाति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. He who will not have any body attachment. He who will not have any body attachment and love in mundane relations, unperturbed in happenings of good and bad, is said to be settled in pure wisdom. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Still they not both fall into the ditch. The disciple is not above his master, but every one that is perfect shall be as his master. And why beholdest thou the more that is in thy brother's eye, but perceive not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pull out of the mote that is in thine eye, when thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, cannot the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull out the mote that is in thy brother's eye? Luke 6, 19 to 42. A physically, mentally, and spiritually blind or ignorant person cannot lead another person. Both fall into the same ditch. Spiritually advanced cannot be above his master and gives respect to his master. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither doth a corrupt tree bringing forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of bramble bush gather they grapes. Luke 6:43-44. To get out of deeply embedded maya or ignorance is not easy task. No known comparison exists in the three worlds for a true guru. If a philosopher's stone be assumed a truly such, it can only turn iron into gold, not into another philosopher's stone. The venerated teacher, on the other hand, creates equality with himself in the disciple who takes refuge at his feet. The Guru is therefore peerless, nay, transcendental. Adi Shankaracharya. A human being is a composite of three kinds of trees. Number one, physical nervous system with its roots in the brain and the trunk in the brain and the trunk in the spine, that is cerebrospinal axis, and efferent and afferent nerves branching out from it with the senses and the sensations at the end of the nerve branches as the fruit. As per yoga, physical body is endowed with A. Five instruments of knowledge are Gyanendriyas, namely sight, hearing, taste, smell and touch. Sight, hearing, taste, smell and touch. And B. Five senses of actions are Karmendriyas, namely manual skill, locomotion, speech, procreation and elimination. Now number two, an astral tree of life with its roots as the thousand petal wreath of Sahasrara chakra in the brain, its trunk of life force in the sun Sushumna, its trunk of life force in the Sushumna, the astral spine and the burgeoning branches of life force in the life-giving fruits of vitality and subtle perceptions. And three, the tree of consciousness, which has its roots in the intelligence in the brain. For its trunk consists of the mind, and its branches consist of reason, will, and feeling. It bears fruit of evil and good desires. As an aggregate, these three systems of nerves, life energy, and consciousness constitute the tree of life in man. Hidden beneath these is the Creator, the superconsciousness of soul. The superconsciousness is rooted in the cosmic consciousness of God. God can be spoken of as the root of the universal tree of life. Cosmic energy can be spoken of as the trunk. All the rays shooting out of this cosmic energy for the creation of universes can be called the branches. The worlds and universes of causal, astral and physical constitution are the fruits of the tree of cosmic consciousness. God's plan of bearing good vibratory fruits was vibrated by vibratory fruits was vibrated by was vitiated and by Maya, was vitiated by Maya, or cosmic delusion, or Satan's evil desires. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. Luke 6:45. A good heart will express itself in good actions, and evil feelings will express themselves in an evil way. Here, heart, feeling, or chitta that has to be controlled in order to get God realization. Yoga Chitta Vruddhi Nirodha. Yoga Sutras 1, 2. Patanjali, the great master and exponent of yoga. Yoga, scientific union with God, is a neutralization of modification of chitta. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Discourse 26. That which comes out of the heart of man declare rather than which merely goes into his brain as knowledge. When Jesus said, out of the abundance of the heart and the mouth speaketh, he meant that speech is an index to the contents of the heart. It is estimated that modern humans think on an average about 80,000 thoughts a day. That is more than 60 thoughts per minute. That is incredible. This is like driving a Ferrari. This is like driving a Ferrari. Needless to say, the high volume of thoughts would eventually cause a lot of stress, which leads to chaos and innumerable undesirable physical and mental illness. Coupled with this chaotic situation and lack of wisdom, promoting, prompting, prompting most of us into so insatiable desire, prompting most of us into an insatiable desire to satisfy ego and senses, leading to fear and anxiety. The question is, the question to ask is, why is this promise of improving life is working against us? Milton Friedman, Nobel laureate, once said, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. Simplicity and wisdom are the only proven ways to mitigate these undesirable manifestations, both personally and globally. There is more to life than increasing its speed. Mahatma Gandhi. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Confucius. Everything should be made as simple as possible, not just simpler. Albert Einstein. As it appears, money, success, and materialism, a modern fanaticism, are popular mantras of modern living. Needless to say, these ideas are running out steam fast, proving to be biggest illusions and self-defeating. What we need are timeless wisdom, simplicity, and spiritual consciousness. If we choose to have a good life, The self-controlled soul who moves among sense objects free from either attachment or repulsion, he wins eternal peace. Bhagavad Gita. And how do we get beyond our own mind and conditioning Maya that prevents us from living as a source of life, which the only state of true peace, bliss, joy, and freedom we all long for and seek. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Na Paraha Adi Shankaracharya. It is truth that all liberate. It is the truth that liberates, not your effort to be free. Jiddu Krishnamurti, the first and last freedom. A mind all logic is like a knife all blade. It makes the hand bleed that uses it. Rabindranath Tagore. We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them. Albert Einstein. The true education is by which character is formed. The strength of mind is increased and the intellect is expanded. Swami Vivekananda. And where there is ignorance, the suffering will follow. And only when we have climbed above ourselves, a line of the transcendence meets our path. A line of transcendence meets our path and joins us to the timeless and the true. Sri Aurobindo. On an average, a human body contains about 30 trillion human cells. We make about 80 billion human cells and lose 80 billion old cells and replace with new human cells every day. It is proven and replaced with new human cells every day. It is proven now that less than 22% of all human diseases, it is proven now that less than 2% of all human diseases have a good genetic cofactor. The diet and mind can alter the state of health. A good and close analogy would be healthy nutrition is the like bricks and the healthy mind is like a mortar on a wall. Nutrition effect on the health is called nutrigenomics. And the effect of the mind on the health is called epigenetics. Ayurveda called it ahara, nutrigenomics, and vihara, epigenetics, about 5,000 years ago. If we eat and think consciously, we can have a new body and new life. We replace about 90% of all our cells in our body in 365 days. Now, it is proven beyond any doubt that whole, diversified, nutritious, vegetarian diet in a moderation, coupled with asana, pranayama and jhana, one can achieve perfect health. There are no shortcuts to good health. We can we cannot delegate our health and hope for the best. We have to take responsibility and nurture our own health. Cause we live in our body every second of our life. A healthy body and a conscious mind is essential for a good life. Thomas Edison said once, the doctor of the future will give no medicine but will interest his patients in the care of the human body by a healthy diet in promotion and in prevention of disease. When diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. Ayurvedic proverb. In fact, on average, a human being contains an equal number of bacteria residing in our body as our own human cells. That is 30 trillion. It is called the human microbiome. When we expose ourselves with the clean natural environment, when we expose ourselves with the clean natural environment, it is now scientifically proven that it boosts our immunity and makes our brain healthy also. There is a symbolic relationship between the natural environment and our body's microbiome. That is why mud bath is recommended in naturopathy. Also was used by Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, at least for 2000 years or more. End of the discourse.